Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Sylvia and I make videos on planning with the occasional review. Today's video is going to be a little bit of a haul. So this is a haul from Jetpens. I will link them down below. This is in anticipation for my Moterm standard traveler's notebook, and this of course got here first because I ordered the TN from AliExpress, and if you've ever ordered from them, you know it takes some time. And I figured I probably wouldn't move into this until the end of April, beginning of May, until I finish my A6 Moterm notebook, which I am loving. You guys, I don't know, I might not even move into this. I might just buy a second little pocket notebook because it's adorable. But I thought I would share a little bit of a haul with you so that I can open these things and set them up in anticipation for that TN, and that way I could share what I ended up getting. So I know, I'm sorry about the ring light, but it is a very cloudy day here in Colorado, and in order for you to even be able to see anything, I needed it on. But we're going to go through this in a moment and get rid of that ring light. So the first thing I bought was an inner gel Clinia. I've owned these in the past and I love them, but I've never owned this kind of tan brown body before. I think that this might actually come with brown ink. Is that true? But I also bought one of these refills in black in a 0.5 millimeter just because I have been using notebooks where I feel like I can use a wider, I was gonna say a wider nib, a broader pen, a broader tip, and I thought that a 0.5 might work out in the paper that I've been using recently, because a 0.3 sometimes on certain paper can be very scratchy, and then on others it can flow a little nicer, so it really just depends. So got one of those to go with this guy. I'm just gonna move it out of the way so we can continue on. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this little pander stamp. That is definitely my spirit animal. I ended up buying some of these friction stamps, and I've actually been using them in my planner. So if you're new to the friction stamp, the eraser is down here on the bottom so that you can erase your friction. And look how cute. Oh my gosh, let me get something to stamp because obviously I'm not even prepared. Okay, so if you guys hear cheering or screaming in the background, it's just Jay. He's watching March Madness, and I have to get back to it as well. But I thought I would film this first. So these are just the little sticky notes. And I just like to stamp a little panda in the corner. Look how cute. So if you press really hard, they will come out like crazy, like a little blob. But the lighter you press, the more of a nice stamp you actually get. So you can see that there. That is when you press nice and light. Now the other stamp I ended up getting is this one, and of course I don't have any ink near me. Let me grab some. See if this will come up on here or not. I don't know where all of my post-its are. I have white post-its somewhere, so these would stand out more, especially the color, but we're gonna work with what I have here. And y'all know that I am the world's best stamper. And by that, I mean I'm not. Look, I already got some on my finger. Good Lord. 1, 2, 3, rub it back and forth maybe. Haha! Look at that! That came out very nicey nice. And it says task and date, and then it has Monday through Sunday, which is important to me because I am a Monday start person. It does fit on a sticky note, so you can also put like a little bit of notes down here at the bottom, as well as having your weekly task or off to the side. And off to the last stamp I ended up getting. I saw this when they first came out and I thought, oh my gosh, I need one. And then I didn't buy them, sort of because of the price and because they can get a little expensive. It is a self-stamping stamp. Is that what you would call it? What does it say on here? Probably in another language. And then this is oil-based ink. So here on the back, you can see that you can use different colors of pens or markers to mark these out. I've also seen here in the front where you can use like little daubers, which I do have. So I have these ones, and I also have these guys here, which is the play color dots. So both of these have dotted sides, and they're both dual pens. So on this side is the fine tipped pen. And then over here, this is the dot, and it's actually flat. You can see there. This one has a fine tip on it as well, so you can write with it or check things off inside of your dot. And then this side is actually round. And these were a gift from a planner friend, and I love them and I use them all the time. Oh, my voice is going in and out. I'm sorry. So I thought this would be kind of cool to use with this because it just stamps black, and then you can add whatever color you want to it. So first I'm going to go ahead and stamp on here to show you that it does fit within a regular, what are these, 3x3 Post-its. This is actually Post-it brand, I believe. Yeah. So you can get it centered if you want, or, you know, not worry about it. You can put it down a little lower. Actually, no, there's a place for a header, so probably centering it is best. I can't see because in order for me to stand up, I'll probably hit my head on my ring light. So let's just avoid that, shall we? Okay, so you can see right away that my first stamp wasn't the best. So it's a little bit like the friction in the way that the harder you push it down, the more like smudged and blurred, and it kind of just like bleeds all together a little bit. And you can see on the back of this, this is just very thin Post-it paper. It is going to bleed and ghost like crazy, so be aware of that. Let me know down below also if you're the world's best stamper. So that's not too bad. This one looks a little bit more crisp. Let me show you this one in comparison. There you go. So I'll bring this up closer so you can see. So that one looks a little bit rough, but still absolutely usable and readable. So I think that's perfectly fine. It says, let's try it. Habit, tracker, and then on the side it says good. On the other side it says nice. And these are also by Midori. And if you remember, I do have, oh, I moved them so that I can make space for this video. I do have the Midori stamps somewhere. Hold on. Okay, I don't even know where I put those stamps now, but this is pretty snazzy. I like that I don't have to take out ink or stress out because too many choices is a problem for me. And I have a bunch of different stamp colors to choose from. So this is really nice because it's just black and white, and then you can go ahead and color it in with whatever pen or marker you'd like. So you can see that it bled through just a little bit when I was a little bit more light-handed. Still some ghosting. Now, most of us don't care about a Post-it, but when it comes to our paper, you might be interested. So let me grab a couple of different weights of paper. So I stamped it 3 times. This one was for 5 seconds with a little bit more pressure in the center, because you can see right here it was kind of breaking up a little bit. And that looks like a pretty nice stamp. It also looks like it seeped into this paper really nicely. And this is just an extra piece of paper I had from my niece's History Day project. So it definitely bleeds through and goes on 20-pound paper. No surprise there. If you're just going to use one side, that's not a problem. But for some people, it will be if you're trying to stamp it in, I don't know, like a 3-ring binder planner situation. I am currently out of 25-pound paper, so I can't stamp it on there. But let's go ahead and use a Traveler's Company insert. So 5 seems to be the magic number, and you hold it in the center a little bit. That looks pretty nice. Pull it up so you can see. And you can see that it actually bled through the Traveler's Company paper. I'm pretty surprised by that. I didn't think that would happen. So what I would actually recommend is that you go ahead and use like a Post-it and put it into any planner that you wanted to, just so that you don't have to worry about that. I do have my 120-pound, what is it called? Bullet journal by Term 1917. Maybe I should go get that because I feel like bullet journal people are going to want to know. I want to know because you might just want to, you know, stamp this a bunch of times and have a whole spread of this. But not even in this paper. That's interesting. Let me go grab that notebook. I'm going to go find it. Okay, I did not realize that this was going to be a stamping party, but let's do it, shall we? Okay. Here is my Moterm 1917 in A6 size. This is 80 pound do we say GSM or GM paper? Y'all know what I mean. Okay, I'm going to put it on one of these perforated pages in the back, so if it bleeds through and I don't like it, I can just, you know, tear it out. I'm going to put this guy behind it in case it does bleed. Because this is what I had planned officially to use this in. And still I can use it on a post-it and it's not that serious. No. Is it because this is behind it? Okay, I'm gonna remove that. I am not a consistent stamper. I'm gonna try one more time. Here we go. There we go. Look at that. I had to hold it down, press all over the place, but I got her done. So I think this might have to do with the paper and how the ink either spreads or whether it sits on top or not. And I think it was having some struggles, I think, soaking into the paper. Look at all of that ghosting and bleed through that's happening there. So I would say it's not safe to use on the 80 GSM paper unless you're going to put a sticker or some post-its on the back like this and write on it. Then you don't have to see it and you don't have to know that, and it's fine. But again, I would recommend stamping it on a post-it and putting it into your planner, which is like for those of you who wanted a whole spread. I mean, what is the point, right? So I'm going to put this all to the side. Okay, I had to go clean my hands real quick. It was everywhere. So this is the 1917 Bullet Journal Edition 2. This has 120 pound paper in it. And I am going to sacrifice a page for y'all. Let's do this one because it has writing on the back and then we won't be able to see how well the paper does. Okay, let's do it here in the corner. Okay, are you guys ready? Let's see how it did. Nice. Okay, so on the 120, no bleed through at all. Sweet. Okay, so I can use it in here, which is not something I'm using for habit tracking, but if you wanted to do a whole spread, I would recommend a thicker paper for that. And I know most of you are probably like, that's totally fine, but it's not for me because sometimes I don't like thicker paper and thicker paper makes me sad panda. So for those of you who are wondering about, what's it called? Tomoe River paper. Let's just put it on some of these pages in the back I didn't use. Very, very thin paper. I imagine this is just going to sit on the page and take forever to dry. But let's try it out. Well, that was nice. Nicey nice. Okay, let me pull it up. Are you guys ready? Here we go. There is bleed through and there's transfer. Do you see the transfer on this page? Sorry, the lighting is not the best in here. And ghosting. It's not too bad, but the transfer's stupid, so you would have to put another piece of paper or a post-it behind it so that it would transfer onto there and not onto the next page. But it doesn't look too bad. I'm going to let these dry and later I will try to insert some pictures with some comments as to how these did because they're still very, very wet and I do want to try some color on here. I should have probably just done a video for this little stamp all by itself. I didn't know. I apologize. And because I love my thin paper in my Jibun Tacho, I want to know how this is going to go. So let's use this page. This is very thin, so I imagine it's going to be a lot of obvious ghosting, but will it bleed? That is the question. Look at that. That came out super crispy. I like it. Okay, here we go, here we go. A little bit of bleed through and a little bit of transfer. So this is the same as the Tomoe River paper. Again, this is Kokyo thin paper, so it's its own brand. So whether you get the Mio paper in the what's it called? The Jibun Tacho Biz, or you get the Days, which this one is, these idea notebooks all come with the same thin paper in it. It looks really nice in here. Damn, I'm not even using this planner anymore. Yeah, so we'll have to see what I decide to do. Also, you can go ahead, if you have a notebook that has extra pages and you're like, what could I do with these extra pages? I feel bad that they're, you know, empty, and you've abandoned a notebook. You can always just tear them out or cut them out, stamp on them like this, and then washi tape them or tip them into your planner. So there's an idea also. Okay, those are drying off to the side, and I quickly just wanted to go over these inserts. So I only used this insert once. It's still relatively new. I feel like maybe in the last 2 or 3 years. I'm sorry, as you get older, the years just blend. They blend. I don't know how many years it's been, but they're still, I think, pretty new. This is the dot grid, and I ended up getting 3 of these. And since I've only used them once, I wanted to try them again because I really loved them. I was very, very used to, okay, I'm going to mute this real quick. All right, so this is the refill, the dot grid. It is in a 5mm. There are 64 pages, and I used to only like the square grid because it had lines, and I've gotten so used to dot grid that I kind of miss it when I don't use it. So I am really grateful that Traveler's Company has started to make inserts with dot grid in them. So if you're new to Traveler's Company, know that the cardstock that they wrap around these inserts are all different colors so that you can you'll know actually what the layout is on the inside. And I really kind of like this. It's like a light gray, almost a beige color. I'm terrible with colors. And I really love this little insert. So there you can see the dot grid. And it's just very subtle and nice, and I don't know, I really love these inserts. So I got a couple extra, and then I decided, well, maybe they're extra, and maybe I might want to do 2 inserts in one traveler's notebook that are dot grid. So I ended up getting 3. And then the last one I want to talk about is the Traveler's Notebook Free Day Weekly Memo. So this has the Hobonichi style layout on the inside, and it says that you can put up to 28 weeks, which is 6 months, and there are 64 pages. So if you're someone who actually wants to try out, sorry about the glare, a week's, but you don't want it to be like any pressure. This is undated, which is awesome. Also note that this has 64 pages as well, the dot grid. So do the square grid and the lined and the blank as well. I think only the lightweight, it's been a while, and I know they've come out a bunch of different colors. I think the lightweight is the only one that has double the pages. So if you wanted to draw out your weekly spread in these, you certainly could do that as well. So here they are showing that we have the week on one page on the left and then memo on the other, which is square grid, which I love. And the one year I had this, I tried to plan on it and I fell off of a traveler's notebook. And so I decided to use it as memory keeping, and it worked out really well for that. Normally I like that because you can maneuver them into lying flat. Look how beautiful that is. However, I don't like the color of the cover, and I wish I could just put a different cover on it. So usually I'll collage it. I don't hate green. It's actually my favorite color, but sometimes it doesn't go with the color scheme I have chosen. So there's that. The pages on the inside are also a slight cream colored. And I know some people just want to gag when they see cream colored pages. I think that sometimes it can make you feel kind of fancy. Let me show you this. It's no more, well, actually it might be a little bit more cream colored than even the Hobonichi Weeks. So sorry, the lighting in my ring doesn't really help here. I'll pull it up a little bit. It looks slightly more cream colored. Oh gosh, look, this stamp, you guys, is still crazy right now. I would not use this on Tomoe River paper. Just saying. Also, because all of these papers, except for the ones that specifically, like the lightweight paper that says Tomoe River paper, I think they're all the same kind of paper. So since it bled in the other, in the lined Traveler's Company notebook, it's going to bleed in these as well and ghost like crazy. I like this because it's a Monday start. Here in the beginning, we have a little space for you to write a quote or put a picture. And then you have like Traveler's Notebook here. And this is just a 2-page spread where you could do something like your vision board, which I think is very nice. Of course, they have this open because it's undated, which is also great. And it's a lot wider than the Hobonichi. So I actually would use this more, I think, than I would the Hobonichis, just because it's so teeny tiny. You could fit a little bit more in here. And since it's open, you can put whatever months you end up buying this in. So if you wanted to have this in April start, you certainly could do that. Of course, up here at the top, it has an area, kind of like a digital clock, that you can fill in the day and the year if you want to, or you can completely ignore it. I usually do. There is a stamp, a Hobonichi stamp, that has this as well. And then you can go ahead and mark this down the center, which is nice because it has those little notches already there for you. Just line it up with a ruler and you're good to go. And off to the right, this line goes straight across the entire spread. So it's already broken down for you if you wanted to continue Wednesday all the way over to this page. Very, very nice. I like that it's a subtle light gray, not intrusive. Also up here, you can go ahead and stencil or just write in what day of the week it is, which is really, really nice. I really miss this. I'm not excited about it being cream, but I don't know, I don't notice it as much. And if you're going to use this for memory keeping and you wanted to do some kind of collage, it really works well against a lot of stuff like vintagey vibe. So at the end of 28 weeks, you just get this like departure card here where you can put your information and stuff if lost, and other information that I personally wouldn't use at all. So there are no extra pages in here. So it's certainly meant to be paired with like another notebook like this one inside of a traveler's notebook. Okay, you guys, so that has been my haul from Jetpens. I'm excited to use these. I'm pretty, shocked about the stamp and how it's kind of, I feel like everything in the planner world is sort of like that. Pens only want to work in certain planners on certain paper. And now, stamps as well. It is what it is. I really think that this is going to work out great. So I might end up using this more than this in certain planners because I can control a little bit more. I think the amount of ink that goes on, which is a little bit helpful because on certain paper, this just kind of seems like a lot of ink. And then this little guy is so cute. I'm excited to use that as well. All right, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope that this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.